Hello and welcome to the Legacy Crusaders blog channel. This is Benji, and today I'm showing my updated deck profile. I was playing Orcust Infernoid, but with the banning of Link Cross, my general combo using Mech Knights got messed up, so I had to do something different. So I'm playing Infernoid Dinosaurs to try and get a similar power boost out of an alternative engine. I'm still waiting on my Animadorn and Archosaurs to arrive, so I have proxies in here for now, but I am playing this tournament in Sir Eminon's current Discord tournament, so I will be posting my games and commentary on my games as we go. We've already played round 1, and I did lose 2-1 to Zoo Draco, of all things. And I definitely misplayed in game 3, which is important. But I'll run through how the deck functions, and I'll show a combo or two with a test hand. So firstly, for the dinosaur package, I have 3 Oviraptor, 3 Miscellaneosaurus, 2 Animadorn and Archosaurs are all that are going to be in the list. Let me know if you like how good my proxies came out or not. They do say Jewel Beast Archosaurus. Got 2 copies of Baby Cerosaurus and 1 Jurac Aolo because it is a tuner, and it gives me a follow-up with the Miscellaneosaurus after I've done the dinosaur plays. Also, sometimes you just summon an Infernoid and then just putting a tuner in play, I can OTK my opponent using fiber combos. I got 3 Fossil Digs to search for the Oviraptor, the Baby Cerosaurus, the Misc, whatever card would be most useful for comboing with. And, of course, 2 Double Evolution Pill to search off of the Archosaurus and 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyrannos. I'm not on a Petit Pterodon, and I'm not on a Pankratops. I am blind going second, and I would like to fit them in, but the deck is so tight, you have to pick and choose what you want more badly, and quite often I wind up searching 1 Conductor the hard way, and I need to summon 1 from the deck. I guess I could potentially cut 1 for Pankratops, but I have liked it this way. Petit Pterodon would only make sense if I were playing the Pankratops, but I don't really have room to put it in addition to the Baby Cerosaurus, but I kind of like the Baby Cerosaurus. So at the moment, I'm happy with this engine and the ratios. For the Infernoid engine, I'm on 3 Decatron. I'm on 1 Harmadic, 2 Patrulas, so 1 Monster Pop, 2 Back Row Pop. Can use this to pop Baby Cerosaurus. Hasn't come up yet. One day. 1 Sajet for resolving the Void Feast. 1 Sitesmoss for non-targeting banishment. 1 Atondel. 2 Deviati. And 2 Anoku. I had to cut my Prometheus and Antra from my previous build just because the Dinosaur engine takes up a little bit more room than the Orcust engine did. Because the Orcust engine was more contained in the extra deck, whereas the Dinosaur engine is more contained in the main deck, so it just takes up more space. I would like to fit those in. Again, there's no room. It's not physically possible to fit every card I want into this deck in there. For the Infernoid spells, I got the Void Vanishments to search my imaginations. I am hard going second, so 6 ways to get to this play, and then like 6 to 12 ways to get to the Dinosaur engine. I'm main decking 2 Void Feast, and as long as I'm still playing Mystic Mine, I'm going to be continuing to play my Void Purification for the scenarios where it is useful. For hand traps, I've got 3 Gammas, because Calamities is a hell of a card. I got the 1 Driver, the Psychic Soldier, who rides into, the brick. Alright. The 1 Effect Veiler for the Selene combo. The fact that I play 1 is a little bit problematic for performing that combo, but I do play alternative like OTK routes. I only play 1 so that it is a possible combo, but 1 had to get cut in the long run for the Jurac Aolo, which I decided is worth it. I'm on 2 Ash, 2 Imperm in the main deck, because I as far as people seem to think that Imperm is completely useless, but it's still one of several cards that actually stops Calamities, and if Calamities is the end game for most decks, it's a must-play. But I think Forbidden Chalice might be better, so I went 50-50, and that's because this can be activated if I put another card on the field. So if I activate like another card and try to bait the Calamities, I can still activate this. If I put like mine on field, they might activate it. If they have like the trap card, they might not. If I summon Decatron and then chain Forbidden Chalice, I could potentially stop them. So I wanted more options with quick play. Effect Negation, it could be Droplet. I just haven't decided that I want to play Droplet because I don't like the discards that well. Like, I mean, I have discards, I just don't like them that much. Playing 2 Dark Ruler No More. There's additional effect negation in case people are on big boards. No particular card is better than any other one unless the format is more defined. And while the format is not undefined, um, it's not specific that any one of these is better than the other one at the moment, so I haven't decided to commit to one of them more than the others. I have the 1 Terraforming and the 3 Mystic Mines in the main deck, and I cut my Nibirus for more back row removal, so there is a Cosmic Cyclone and a Twin Twister in the main deck, along with the standard, for me at least, Galaxy Cyclone for popping my own Mystic Mine. So that's my main deck. I'll show the extra deck and the side deck, and then I will show a combo or two that uses everything you have here. So for the extra deck, I got the Linkaribo and the Secure Gardna for the plays involving the Dinosaur package. A Lambda, because you can also just Linkaribo and then go into Lambda instead of Secure Gardna and Dulka. In the event I have Gamma in hand. If I get Infernoids on field, I can also tribute off the driver and potentially use 2 Gammas. That has happened before. I could also tribute the driver, let the first Gamma get banished, and search another Gamma, so that's pretty cool. So I have Dulka. I still play a Zeroboros at the moment because I'm afraid of a, what do you call them, Prank Kids deck. Just building a board of unkillable monsters between using the 2 effects that make them undestructible by battle or card effect, and I do want a way to progress the game state, so this can banish everything, so it is useful for that. Also good against Eldritch cards. Got 1 Halki Fibrax and a Hida to get into Halki Fibrax, or my opponent ashes me, so I can either take their ash and use it as a tuner to go into Fiber. It's also a spellcaster, so it gives me an alternative method into Selene. So if I have my Veiler Engraver ready, I can use Hida and another monster to go into Selene, and then Selene can bring back the Veiler, so I still get to a link 4 that way. The Access Code Talker. Gravity Controller, I don't necessarily feel like I need. This might be a cuttable card, but I'm still like experimenting on what the ratio should be. I have the generic Infernoid OTK machine, the Crusader Equimax, and for other cards, we got 1 Omega to send off of Tiara, 2 Nates to send off of Tiara, and Tiara itself to nuke the board with the Natesses while setting up other graveyard plays. The Gravity Controller was originally a Reaper-Dachis. Theoretically, you can send a dinosaur to the graveyard if you open Pill with the Tiara. But I found odds are if I was in that position, I didn't need to send Reaper-Dachis that often, so I went up with Lambda, just having a generic Link 2. Because that was a previous issue with my previous build with the Orcust engine. All the Link 2s were not generic. They all required a Mech Knight or an Orcust monster or Fires or something. But this has a little more freedom because of the Lambda. So that's my extra deck, and my current side deck is definitely going to be changing. So I have Harpy's Feather Duster for back row, a second Cosmic Cyclone, and a second Twin Twister, because none of them are really in particular better than another. I haven't decided what I prefer, so I have 2 Cosmics between the 2 of them, and 2 Twins in total, and a Feather Duster. I wanted quick play spell removal for the Virtual World Chuchi if my opponent puts it out, in addition to a Calamity, so I can chain this if they try to pop the Calamities with a trap card. I can destroy it. And Ogre would also be good in that case. I might want to consider playing Ghost Ogre. It would be playable on both players' turns. I wouldn't have to put it on the field, so there's some benefits there as well. So that's back row removal. I'm playing 2 pop-ups. This is just to hedge my bet against like Prank Kids, because if they play a field spell, I can put mine on the board, quick play. And same thing for Invoke Dogmatica, so you can also put this on board against them if they're on the field spell. This also could work against the Drytron deck. They also play the field spell. So any deck that plays a field spell, this is good against. It's good against Prank Kids as well. I think I said that already. 1 Dark Hole, but I picked Dark Hole because it can pop my Baby Sarsaur, so it has some overlap there. 1 Mind Control, and another copy of Dark Ruler, Forbidden Chalice, and Infinite Impermanence. These are just, depending on the matchup, one of these is better than another. I switch it around. I don't want to put in any more hand traps. I'm fine with the hand traps I have. I don't really think I need Lancia or Nibiru based on the boards that are going on. My deck is built, I think, the way it's mostly going to be. It's just minor tweaks for the matchups in the side deck. And the second copy of Void Feast, the third copy of Void Feast for when I know it's my imaginations aren't as useful, so I want more options to play. Red Reboot for trap decks, and this is probably going to be wrong in the long run, but I'm going to try 3 Mask of Restrict for the Drytron match, because I was playing Inspector Border, but, between Virtual World just activating the King Long and negating this, or getting impermed on negating the Inspector Border, this might just stick better because it's a trap card. Not sure yet. So this will prevent them from activating Ben 10 or any of the Drytrons or ritual summoning anything. Their deck literally will do nothing if this sticks. So I do want to try this. I don't know if it's going to work. It might be better with Inspector Border. Either way, I have to draw them. Maybe I should put both of them in here. Maybe I should cut the excessive amount of duplicates between my side and main for that. But I don't want to open too many cards that do the same thing. So I like to have a variety of cards that do similar things. But that is the deck profile. I will shuffle up and do a combo and see how good it is. And if you want to see the deck in action throughout Sir Eminon's tournament, I will be posting gameplay footage as well. It is on DB, so those will be DB games. So let me just take the deck, shuffle it up, and we'll see what we draw. Deck wasn't shuffled a minute ago, so I'm just going to try and get it thoroughly mixed. U.S. Post Office is super behind on deliveries because of the holidays, plus, other things. So my Animadorns, despite being tracked and ordered on the day of the ban list, have not yet arrived. Hopefully they'll be here by the end of the weekend. Unfortunately, didn't make it in time for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Extravaganza. Alright, hopefully that's thoroughly mixed. So going first, I have a play. It's not the best play. Oviraptor solo is really just a Conductor Tyranno, which is something for going first. But going second, I have Dark Ruler turn off that board and Conductor to kill everything, which is kind of cool, but it's not the best going first hand. But just in case you're not sure what I mean by Oviraptor by itself is a Conductor, you can normal Oviraptor, search Misk, mill Misk, use Misk to send from deck to grave. From deck to field, summon the Animadorn Archosaur. It can then pop the Oviraptor, putting a dinosaur in the graveyard, and searching the pill. Next you can turn this into a Linkaribo. Turn that into the Secure Gardna, and then pill using the Archosaur and the Linkaribo for a Ultimate Conductor Tyranno from the deck. And that is at least something that can be done with just opening the Oviraptor. I shuffle up a little bit more. I don't have to shuffle as much because the cards are a little bit more spaced out now. Do another few hands and see what we get. There are incompatibilities in the deck engine, but they're all like really strong when they do work, so I've decided not to worry about it. So let's draw another hand and see what we got. Alright, so Decatron is a good starter. The Fossil Dig means I can get a Conductor on board. In this case, going second, this should be an OTK, depending on what my opponent has and does. So let me draw another card just to see what I have going second. So one way or another, I'm going to summon Conductor. But if there's enough spells engraved, I can go into the Selene combo. So let's say there are 3 spells engraved and my opponent's board is not great. It's just set cards or nothing particular. I'll just run down how that would work. Fossil Dig for Oviraptor. To put a monster on board, Oviraptor would search Misk, send Misk to grave, activate Misk to summon Aolo. Aolo into Fiber. Fiber into Valor. At this point, if I needed another spell in play, I could activate the Void Imagination, just to have a spell on field, between field and grave, just to increase the spell count. Just as a nice cool thing you can do. Go into the Selene. Assuming there's enough spells, you can use Selene to bring back the Valor. Go into Linkaribo. and go into Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker targets Selene, and then pop all their cards. 1, 2, 3. Either hard summon the Conductor or activate the pill for Conductor, and that's 35 and 53, which is more than game. Sometimes you get into this and then they just pop it or negate it or something. So let's say my opponent were to negate this. I could summon the Conductor, use it to pop the Access Code Talker, and then potentially fuse on them depending on what their board is. There's a lot of things you can do. If it gets negated, I could also, I mean, I probably wouldn't, well, because in this case I open both Tyranno and Pill, I would have probably summoned Tyranno, and from hand, but there are scenarios where you can make Lambda and then activate Pill to summon from deck and bait Ash and gamma them. But these are all just possibilities. Of course, the board state dictates what happens in going second decks. You can't really plan everything. It's not possible. You have to play a few games, see what comes up, what doesn't come up, and modify the deck accordingly, which is what has been happening with this deck list. All right. Well, this is just a bad going first hand, going second. It's not as bad going second, because I do have the negate to make their board weaker, the mine to stop them from playing, and I actually have the slow looping of the Infernoids with the Purification. Obviously not the ideal open. Actually depends on the board state. Sometimes the Purification is actually the only card that's useful in the board state, depending on what your opponent sets up or what deck they're playing. Trying a few more hands. Well, 2 Fossil Dig is full Dinosaur combo. So going first, this is full Dinosaur combo. Going second, it's full Dinosaur combo through while locking them under Mystic Mine. Going second, I would draw this as well. So if I went first, I get full Dino combo. I'll show you what that is. But if I went second, I get to activate Mine, which is potentially bait, activate another Mine, and then I can Cosmic it when I'm ready to OTK my opponent. Or if they don't stop the first Mine, I can Access Code Talker, pop a bunch of stuff, and then set Mine over Mine to continue playing, while potentially popping back row. But I can also summon this by using my Jurak Aolo into a Fiber to summon an Infernoid, the Decatron from the deck, to make it into a Linkaribo and then summon a Harmodic. All are possibilities. So, this is kind of the X card here. So firstly, all this can be done under Mystic Mine, but I'll do it without it just for explanation. Activate both Fossil Digs. Search for Misk and Baby Ceratosaurus. I would you have the option to go into Oviraptor, because one way or another you're going to normal summon Oviraptor or Baby Ceratosaurus. So the reason I do it this way is it implies you have Gamma, because you would not do this if you didn't have Gamma. So I'm going to activate Misk, use Misk to summon from deck the Animadorn Archosaur, which will pop the Baby Ceratosaurus, searching for the double evolution pill. The Baby Ceratosaurus will summon the Oviraptor, which will search another Baby Ceratosaurus, which will then get normal summoned. Oviraptor will pop this Baby Saurus, destroying it to bring back the other, specifically has to be the other one. Effective, this one Engrave will activate to summon 2 possibilities, depending on what you want to do. If I want to summon the Harmodic that badly, I would summon the Aolo to go into Halki Fibrax. But in this case, just like going first, I would summon Miscellaneosaurus. Overlay these for Evils or Dulka. And if I have Gamma, you have the option to turn this into Linkaribo. Oh, whoops, somehow I left a Misk in my extra deck. And I can link these into Lambda. So if I have Gamma, I can link these into Lambda. But in most cases, that's not necessary. So you just link this into the Secure Gardener. And then Pill. Usually using the Jewel Beast or the Archosaur and the Linkaribo for the Conductor. if I put in the Petit Pterodon or the Pancratops, I could also have this float into a Pancratops or a Petit Pterodon. Oh yeah, that would be activated. And then I would still have these cards. So that was a... well, this would be in the deck because I wouldn't have drawn it for turn. So that would be turn 1. Turn 2 would be something like this. I will acknowledge that the Infernoid cards have not really come into play, but again, the Infernoid cards are much harder to gauge what is happening because it's dependent on your opponent's board state as to whether you can or cannot resolve Imagination to begin with. So we have to assume we're going second. We have to open the Infernoid cards that do that, which we have opened it, meaning the entire play that was done while I had Imagination in hand could have been done after using Imagination, which means baiting all of your opponent's cards, potentially fibering them, lots of things. And then you just conductor them for game anyway. Well, this is just a brick going first. There's nothing to do because Animadorn can't pop Animadorn. Going second, it is full combo, Gamma to protect Imagination. So depending on what they do, you Imagination to fuse, Gamma them if they hand trap you, and then I can still Fossil Dig into a Baby Ceratosaurus and normal Archosaur and do full play. So, again, I can't gauge whether or not this would be playable, so not much I can comment on that. Just play one more hand and then I will end the video there. If you want to keep progress on how I'm doing in the Sir Eminon tournament, you can follow those match results here as well on the blog channel. Well, going first, this hand doesn't do anything. Going second, this hand potentially does something. It entirely depends on what happens. So, assuming the opponent gets ashed on something, we have Twin with a good discard, the Vanishment with a discard into Imagination and/or Feast. So it's not awful, but the Vanishment came up as the 6th card. I'll do one more just because that was quick. Well, this is all dinosaur stuff. So this is just dinosaur combos. Nothing you haven't seen already. And I think I'm going to end there since I just keep drawing similar hands, mostly dinosaur stuff, which is good, because the dinosaur stuff is less reliant on my opponent. So, you know, all these decks are just my attempts to make Infernoids playable. I do think the best Infernoid deck you can play right now is probably Numeron Infernoid, but with all the trap decks being played, maybe it won't be. But, I mean, in general, I think Numeron Infernoid is probably the way to go. It's also the deck where I feel like Memories of Hope, the draw 4 card, actually makes the most sense to play because the Infernoid cards you can draw off of it are actually quite good and justify it, I think. But in a lot of cases, also it's a going second deck, so you can bait with the Infernoid cards and then go into the Numeron stuff and just attack them with the Numeron guys for mad damage. So if you like this video, leave a comment or click the like button, and stay tuned for my matches from Sir Eminon's tournament.